So here we have today a machine which has been delivered to me from a friend who is experiencing some big problems. They tried to do the D-scale, but the D-scale program did not succeed, and it's still saying D-scale me. We can get around that by going into the settings and telling it to reset. Forget about the D-scale. But then his next problem was it was flashing 108 on here, so it was overheating, and he switched it off. But when he switched it back on later, still saying 108, and then later he switched it on again, and then it never gets hot enough, only getting up to 50 degrees Celsius, 60 degrees Celsius, and never full temperature. So what has happened there is a major failure, and we need to replace some parts. What we will do is get inside, find the leak on the boiler, and the leaky boiler has caused other problems, which we will now need to get in and replace all the O-rings so we don't get any more leaks, and also replace the things that the leaks have caused to fail and break. So let's do it. And you will see inside of here, once we pop this back part off, here we go, there we go. Now we can open it up, hang this back down and hang this down like that. Little tool tray in here, it was full of water. This little tool was sitting inside. It's all rusted because it's been sitting in water for so long. So let's see if we can catch any leaking today. Here we go. We can see the leaking. The boiler is getting very hot already. What we're going to do is replace all of these O-rings, maybe all of them, I think, with have these packets of O-rings. These here. So this one, many O-rings, and this one, and also we have a new group head seal. Okay, let's turn it off and let it cool down now. Okay, so I got them all replaced. These are all the old ones. Yeah, and the blue ones are from this one, and this one. And all the little red ones, they come out of all the others. So all of them are replaced, and this one and this one. And the little one down there on the side is another little thermometer probe, and also the two on the back down here. So these final two here, which we have the leftover the O-rings here. There's one spare red we did not need, but the two blues we could not put in these because they would not come out. I disconnected everything, pulled out the pins, and took off the power and lift. Everything else lifts straight out, no problem. But this one, they're stuck in. Okay, now we are testing. It's getting nice and hot and pressurized with steam once again. And we see no more leaks. Very good. Okay, no leaks. And we are completing the D-scale procedure again to try to clear it from the computer. And we have looked inside the boiler to make sure it does not need any more D-scaling. So because the steam boiler was leaking, which is now fixed, what happened is the steam went up and hit the TRIAC board, which is this one. This is bolted to the underneath of the lid, and it gets all the steam on it and causes a malfunction. So what we have to do is replace this, or if you are quite technical, you can get this part here this tiny little chip in the middle. Apparently that is the most common one, which is the fault. And if you can get one of those for $1 or $2, and you're handy with a soldering iron, you can remove it with the solder and put in a new one, and maybe that's a cheaper fix for you. But for me, by the time I pay for shipping on that little $1.50 part, and then run the risk that it's not actually the problem, then I'd rather just replace the whole board for $50 and know that it's going to work again. So we have to take these 3 out, and that's the heat sink block, and then we will have just the TRIAC board, which we can replace. I got the replacements here from in Australia. It's called Out West Coffee Gear. And I got also the thermal fuse, which was blown, of course. So what happens is, this is your thermal fuse, not this one, that's something else. This is the thermal fuse. So I've pulled back the insulation to test it and confirm, yes, it is blown. And so I have a replacement. So what happens is the TRIAC board here malfunctions with the steam, and then it will send power to the boiler to heat, and it does not any longer respond to the thermal thermometer reading that the boiler is at the right temperature, and it keeps heating and heating and heating. Even when you turn off the machine with the button, you say good night, but the TRIAC board, because your machine is still plugged into the wall, keeps heating the boiler until the boiler overheats and blows the thermal fuse. If that didn't blow, if it wasn't there, who knows what kind of disaster you might have here. Okay, so because this failed, I need to replace this, and because this failed, that fuse blew, and now I need to replace that as well. After that, should be all good. So these cables, they run down and into this little package here. Pull that out and access what's inside there. Oh, there we go. Hopefully that's not too much trouble. Looks like a bit of trouble, but we will just have to do it. We will do it. And then also these little wires here, they go down and plug in somewhere in there. Okay, so to pop up the back, we have taken out the 4 screws, and then you flex this open a little and pop the cover off. And the TRIAC board, the little wires, they come down, and that's the plug right there, that one. So we're gonna pull that out and stick the new one in, and then put this back together, and yes. Okay, all done. So I've got the new TRIAC board. It's all connected and put back together, joined using these screw down connectors. So I twisted them together nice and tight and screwed them together, very similar to how this works. And they're all screwed up very nicely and tightly and connected inside of there. And the new thermo fuse is also fitted. It's running around. This is the old one's wire. I've just left it there. What I was able to do was spot weld the new thermo fuse here onto focus. There we go, change lanes. Spot weld the new thermo fuse attachment onto the pre-existing one using this little device here, which is meant for spot welding battery connections. So it seems to be holding very well. I've given it a good solid yank, make sure it's connected. So I was thinking I would crimp connect this, but I thought, why not give it a go, and it works. So giving it a test run, and yep, it's working perfectly again. Before I did this little fix, it wouldn't warm up any hotter than maybe 60 degrees, which was just a little bit of transfer heat from the steam boiler. But now it's working perfectly. It has reached full temperature. And now finally, we will replace the shower screen holder and shower screen and the group head gasket, is it called? Anyway, to do that, we will use the Allen key and stick it up in there, get it in there and spin it up. And voila! Okay, your gasket might need some pulling out with a pointy tool if it's stuck in there. So this is actually the new one already. So this is new. The old one was quite brown. And this we will now replace. We'll keep the screw, but this we will replace. This is the old original. Check. This one, you can see big crack in it. So this would have been resulting in some pretty poor quality coffee because of problems with this channeling and water breaking through that and making it around the side of the shower screen and who knows what. So we have the beautiful IMS made in Italy. IMS product and solid brass shower screen holder. Here's the IMS shower screen made in Italy. So this will go up under here, and there we go. The new IMS shower screen with brass holder has been fitted. That's the final upgrade.